Hello everyone, I'm Sam Castine and welcome to Northeastern. Tonight we're girls varsity action. Northeastern Clinton Cougars going against the Peru Indians. I don't have a lineup for either team. I was told that Mike Fay was going to be here to do the play-by-play for us, but he hasn't shown up yet, so we're hoping he does show. Cougars kick off to start tonight's action. The Cougars undefeated on the season. They have one tie. The field is in very, very poor condition, as you can see. The shot goes wide. We'll have a goal kick for Peru. Peru takes the goal kick. It's a short one. These white uniforms probably won't be so white. Bushy returns it for Northeastern. Probably won't be so white when they get done this game. Ball's going to roll out for a Cougar toss. Rolls out. Again, it'll be Cougar toss in. All alone, my Homer, unless you want to do the play-by-play. I know Mike's supposed to be here.
Stand over here, I might not get held up by the rain.
Peru gets it to midfield. Peru working towards net, and it's going to roll out of bounds. Should be a Cougar toss. I think it went off the Peru. It did. Cougars will toss in. Again, the Cougars will toss. Wire stall. I think sample is 14. Peru will toss in.
I know, Decal was walking this way. I don't know. The boys should be going to the varsity.
I believe there's 3 soccer games going on here this evening. I'm glad they decided to play in this field here. It's a little bit warmer. Calvin will be doing cross country at 4:30, and then he'll be heading to Seton for a game down there. Peru in control at the moment. It's got to go. It'll remain Peru's ball.
What?
It's a direct kick. And Snide has it.
At the end of the year game between the boys, the Morris boys, I guess they have gone to the team, and the parents. Huh? Come on, girls. Play close to the ball.
It's going to go out for a Cougar toss. I think you're going to back it up. Holding call, so we'll go over to Seton, to Peru. Peru with the kick.
No, roll down the other end.
Ball's going to be slower tonight too, hitting all those water puddles. So. The joys of soccer.
There you
Okay.
go. Go!
Way to go.
Go, Bab. Oh.
And that's knocked out by Babby.
All right.
Cougars, and that goes wide. Babby runs it down, puts it back out front.
Late.
In there.
Fired.
You know it.
Oh, I guess there is a goal, but I don't know exactly who got it. If it was off Peru or not, and lucky enough, Mike Fay had just shown up.
Who scored? Who scored? The day of the paper?
Oh. I still gotta get even with Chris.
Yeah, I think you had a picture of you and your boy out there battling each other. No more.
Someday in the rain, right?
Well, I'm late again, but I will say hello. This is Mike Fay with Samcast. We're at northeastern Clinton, at least I think it is. Looks like a swamp. And we're here for CVAC girls varsity soccer action between the visiting Peru Indians and the Northeastern Cougars. For the Indians, number 2, Jody Bonville. Number 3, Helen Sherman. Number 4, Teresa Delora. Number 6, Melissa Fulton. Number 7, Angela Perez. Number 8, Carly Everett. Number 9, Doreen Boynton. Number 10, Ruth Hamilton. Number 11, Brooke Mayette. Number 12, Jill Hughes. Number 13, Kelly Coyer. Number 14, Nikki Vitti. 15, Christy Dupree. Number 16, Amy Edwards. Number 17, Erin Campbell. Number 18, Becky Joseph. Number 19, Casey Dermody. Number 20, Amanda Brasso. Number 21, Christy Safour. And number 24, Holly DeGroot. The Indians are coached by Mr. Close. For Northeastern, number 1, Marta Silva. And number 2, Marie Bolris. Number 3, Heather Bolris. Number 4, Jess Babby. Number 5, Carmen Diso. Number 6, Hillary Watts. Number 7, Erin Casey. Number 8, Sarah Bayshard. 10, Hillary Peets. 11, Stacy Miller. 12, Shannon Casey. 13, Hillary Tremblay. 14, Trish Sample. 15, Erica Brown. 16, Erica LaFountain. 17, Jamie Nutt. 18, Carrie Carton. 21, Jeanette Fay. 22, Sarah Bushy. 23, Shannon Stata. 24, Karen Wirestone. In goal, Heather Snide. Cougars are coached by Josie Gilroy. Referees for this evening's contest, Jim Schutz and Pete Kowalowski. And already it is 1-0 Northeastern. A goal going to Jess Babby, assist going to Shannon Casey, and a ball that was crossed over and deflected off number 12, Jill Hughes, into her own net. And this will be, in fact, the last game played here at Northeastern this year. The Cougars, who are already seated number 1 with an undefeated record, this is their last league game against these Indians. The game was supposed to be played yesterday, but due to a tremendous amount of rain, the game was canceled. Right now, the boys are scheduled to play Seton today in a very important game that will determine the number 1 seed in Class B and second place in the CVAC. And as you can see right here, the varsity's playing here, the JV's playing down on the field down below that's in the center of the track, and the boys JV are playing up by the bus garage. They were unable to play 2 games down at Seton for the same reason. The field's in pretty bad condition, and they've got to try and keep Seton as nice as possible for the sectionals. This is the biggest week in Section 7. All the teams who will continue on and win the championship and continue on to the regionals will be determined this week. So a very, very big week in soccer for the North Country, and a very, very sloppy week indeed. Vitti puts it in, it goes out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for Northeastern. Snide out on the wing for Bulris. It gets by her up for Wirestall. Wirestall closely guarded. Tries to turn it. It deflects off the Indians out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Northeastern. Bulris down for Sample. Sample gets by 1, now 2. Dribbles into the center. And a long pass down for Wirestall. She's got the speed, but the ball hit the water and just splashed right up. Bulris follows it up.
Okay, girls, you got him up.
For Peets over for Babby. Babby with a right-footed shot, just over top of the net. a nice play even with the field conditions. Wirestall under normal conditions would have had the speed to dribble in alone on the goalie. But under these conditions, just lucky enough to get the shot off. A low kick out for Delora. Delora can't handle it. Wirestall does. Wirestall again gets by 2, now 3, puts it over for Sample. Sample with the shot, and the save is made. I apologize. I wasn't able, in my rush, I didn't get the goalie's name. I'll have to get that at halftime. Brown switches fields over for Wirestall, and it's out of bounds. And it'll be a throw-in for the Indians. 28:54 remaining in this first half. It's 1-0 Northeastern. Throw in for Hamilton. Pushed down the wing too far. Well, Bushy saved it before it went out of bounds. Now it's out of bounds off Boris, and it'll be a throw in for the Indians. Campbell. Bushy keeps it going out to the outside, and the trip is called. And it'll be a direct kick for Northeastern. And it's hard to believe, but yes, it is raining again. Ball stopped by Everett. Now Tremblay pushes back into Indian zone. Now Wirestall again gets by those same 2 defenders. They're not able to hold on to Wirestall. Wirestall with the shot. High over the top of the net, and it'll be a goal kick for the Indians. Low ball out on the wing for Perez. Out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. One thing that Northeastern has got to learn, and they've got to start doing, they've done just about everything perfect so far this year with their undefeated record. But against some of the teams they're going to be facing in the sectionals and in the regionals, Babby with the shot, and it's stopped. A nice save on a low shot by Jess Babby. They're going to have to learn to keep the shots down. Too many of Northeastern shots this year have gone high over top of the net, and I don't mean by just a little bit. I'm talking by a bunch. Down the wing, Bushy will get there first. With a nice pass up for Tremblay. Tremblay chips further up for Babby, but it's intercepted. Misplayed by Everett. Now Babby. Everett regains. Now Wirestall intercepts. Pushes into the center. Peets can't get there, and it's cleared by Perez. On the far side for Boris. Boris into the center, stopped by Nutt. Nutt pushed off the ball, and that'll be the call. It'll be a direct kick for Northeastern with 26:06 remaining in the first half. It's 1-0 Northeastern, and the Cougars are knocking on the door.
Hey, it takes me 15 minutes to short. I don't think I'm getting her out there. I got to see the Cavs in front of it.
Sample with a low shot. And that's the type of shot, although that was wide, that's the type of shot Northeastern wants to use. Again, the field is crummy. It's very, very wet out there. And any low shot, the goalie's going to have a hard time. Possibility of rebounds or slipping right through the goalie's fingers. So very important to keep the shots hard and low. A low kick again, taken in by Wirestall. Indians having their trouble, and there it goes again, high and over the top of the net. Just outside the 18, which is what has to happen, and it's finally cleared out. Pushed right back in by LaFountain.
Big picture, about this big. He made a bigger picture than any soccer player this year.
Stopped by Nutt, pushed right through Forfait, but she's beaten to the ball by corner. Now Dupree, broken up. Boris again breaks it up, and the Indians come away with it. Vitti controls down to the 18. She'll get a shot off. Broken up by Bushy. A nice defensive play by Sarah Bushy. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick for the Indians. Headed out by Bushy, and the Indians will do it again. First corner kick, very good. A nice corner kick. Spinning in toward the net. Second one out toward the 18. Shot finally taken that goes wide. Shot is taken by Perez, and it'll be a goal kick for Northeastern. Snide right up through the center. Fay gets to it, but can't get by the Indians' defense. Everett pushes it back to the 18. It's going to be a shot on net for the Indians, and it's high over top. And right there, Nikki Vitti had the tying goal on her foot, took it in to the left side of the 6, and fired wide. Snide out on the wing for Wirestall. Wirestall pushes a pass through for Fay. She's wide open. The ball is stopped by the water. Fay chips back in the inside for Wirestall. Wirestall to the 18. Finally cleared out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick for Northeastern. Wirestall with the corner. Low. And kicked out by the goalie. It'll be another corner kick for the Lady Cougars. Wirestall, another corner kick to the 6. Nutt gets there. She had a hand. She controlled the ball with a hand. Handball is called, and it'll be a direct kick for the Indians. Short kick by Courier. Bushy pushes to the outside, but Tremblay gets there. Keeps it in, and there's Miller over for Nutt. Broken up by Delora, and now cleared into the Indian zone. Cleared back out again. Bullris is there to break up the play, and now Miller with a pass up for Fay. Fay pushes up onto the wing for Babby. Just Babby all alone. Now defended by Everett. Everett deflects the ball away, but Babby should get there first. And a push called on Northeastern. And no comment. Intercepted by Perez. Stolen back by Miller, and then stolen back by Perez again. Teams taking turns stealing. A nice save by Boynton. And I guess not. The ball looked inbounds to me. I'm not only am I getting wet, but I'm wrong. Tremblay into the center. Picked up by Fay. She can't control it, and it's cleared in by Hamilton. To the far side for Vitti. Vitti still controlling on the outside. Stopped by Bullris, and Bullris clears up for Wirestall. Wirestall gets by Fulton. Gets by Hamilton. But Everett is there to clear out of bounds. LaFountain for Sample. Deflect out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Lady Cougars. We're down to 19:21 remaining in this first half. 1-0 Northeastern. Wirestall passed across for LaFountain, but intercepted. Now Bullris gets it back. Tries to get it back to LaFountain, but it's too far out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Indians. Fay on the outside. Sorry about that. It'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. Sample. Cross for Nutt and shot on that. And just as I said, the goalie right in the right spot made the stop, and it slipped right through her fingers. She gave out a small rebound, but able to recover it. Big night for the boys JV also down there by the bus garage. They're shooting for an undefeated season tonight. A big, big game for Northeastern's JV squad. Squishes all the way through up for Faye, but she can't get the pass off. And there's slip sliding away out there. Could have been a push, but it's picked up by Dupree. Dupree with a pass up that gets through for Boynton. Boynton will get a shot off, and it's in the net. It's tie score. Becky Boynton with the first goal for the Indians. The Indians, Boynton, unassisted at the 22-23 mark, ties this game up 1-1. A combination of a crummy field and Northeastern unable to get their footing. Boynton took advantage of it and fired a ball beyond snide for the 1-1 tie. Bulris up for Sample. Teams seem to be backing off. At least Northeastern seems to be backing off the ball. Possibly they're a little bit afraid to commit for fear of losing their footing. Direct kick for Northeastern. Sample up through the center, skitters by Wirestall, and it's deflected in the center by the Indians. And again, you saw an opportunity. Campbell deep in the Northeastern zone, and it's cleared out by Sample. Northeastern, this is the type of field that it makes it a level playing field for a team with a lot of speed. With that speed, you can't get the traction. It takes the speed away from a team like Northeastern, and if they're not careful, the Indians are going to make this real interesting as Northeastern Lady Cougars vie for an undefeated season. Up through the center, stopped by Faye. She pushes to the outside for the Fountain. Broken up, but the Fountain gets it right back again. Northeastern, nobody up front, so they're going to have to carry a bit. The Fountain finally gets it up for Babby. Babby right through that puddle, loses all the speed. As I said, it makes it a level playing field for both teams, and it's finally cleared out. And a push from behind, and it'll be a direct kick for the Indians. And as we play, the longer we play, the worse the field gets. It seems to be getting, of course, it's still raining, so the field is getting more water on it. And of course, as the players run up and down, it's going to create more and more mud that they're going to have to run through. Babby gets the cross off. Faye is there. Turns it out for Bulris. Bulris missed kicks, and it's finally cleared out. Northeastern with a golden opportunity, and the Indians dodged the bullet right there. Tremblay in for Wirestall. Wirestall finally turns it. It's a low shot, and it's stopped. Ticketed to the near side. Northeastern again unable to get ahead on the ball. Bulris on the far side.
Get it in there.
Pushed through, but right to Hamilton, who clears it easily. Hamilton again clears up through the center, and there's Boynton. The same problem. Becky Boynton trying to cut to take the ball upfield, slips and falls. Boynton now up the far side for Joseph. And Bushy lets it go out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Northeastern. LaFountain gets by one and then pushes up for Babby. Stopped and cleared back in by the Indians. Now Miller again.
Go for the ball.
The Indians easily taking control of this game. Delora cuts it into the center, headed out by Bushy, and chipped up for Babby. Babby gets by one. Into the center for Fay. Fay can't control it. Wirestall does, and it's taken away by Perez. In the center, big splash of water, and Bullrus comes out of it. Fay can't control it, and it's finally cleared out through the center. Miller gets by Vitti and then goes out on the near side for Wirestall, but there's the Indian defense. Finally, Northeastern's Wirestall with the shot up and in. A beautiful shot by Karen Wirestall. Northeastern's second goal. Karen Wirestall unassisted at the 27-13 mark. And it's 2-1 Northeastern on a beautiful shot by Karen Wirestall just outside the 18. Northeastern was knocking on the door, but they just couldn't get their timing down. They couldn't get any decent shots off. Finally, Wirestall stole it on the left wing, pulled it into the 18, and fired a shot right through. It was over the goalie, but I don't know if she'd have been able to stop it no matter what. It was a hard shot that was spinning away from the goalie into the back of the net for the 2-1 Northeastern lead. And we also noticed that the JV squad, Northeastern JVs, also scored. We can't tell from here who got the goal, but they have at least one at this point. Bushy broken up by the Indians. Campbell, Vitti pushed off the ball, and that's what the call will be. And the Indians trying to come right back, trying to cancel out Wirestall's goal. And Boynton, the first goal scorer, will take the shot. It's a low shot, wide, and it'll be a goal kick for Northeastern. Sample into the center. Skids by everybody to the Peru side of midfield. Pushed to the far side for Fulton, and Fulton clears up the wing for Campbell. Campbell broken up by Boris. It goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Indians. Vitti into the center for Boynton. Intercepted by Miller, who clears up the midfield. To the far side. Picked up by Brown. Brown down the wing, out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Indians.
It's still there. It's my room. Huh?
Miller down the wing, out of bounds again. And the rain keeps coming. It's getting harder by the minute. I've never seen a soccer game canceled, but I could certainly imagine this one could be if the rain continues or gets any worse.
Nothing. Good thing now.
To my knowledge, there is no rule in soccer like in baseball where once you get by the fifth inning, it's considered a legal game, and if it's a rain out, whoever's winning at the completion of 5 wins the game. Soccer's not like that. If it has to be canceled, the game will have to be replayed, and I just can't imagine that this late in the season. Vitti broken up by Sample. 9:14 remaining in the first. 2-1 Northeastern.
It's in the paper too.
Boynton out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for Northeastern.
A few people made 2 comments here today, Joe. I said a few people made 2 comments here today.
Again, the ball getting by everybody and finally cleared back in by the Indians. Sample right back out on far side for Brown. Brown Pushes into the center, but it's intercepted by Delora and right back into Northeastern zone. It's a rugby scrum, and Miller comes out with it. Down the wing, out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Indians.
There really isn't a reason to be here today because originally we already got made.
Chested down by Boynton, turns it into the center for Hamilton. Hamilton gets the shot off, and it was rolling across. Intended for Dupree and cleared out by Tremblay. Finally out of bounds, and the Indians will do it again with a throw-in to Delora. Finally cleared out by Bulris, but there are the Indians that put it right back in again.
Come on!
Tremblay, Northeastern has to use their wings, and they have to get a decent pass out that can be handled by their forwards. This hit and hope is not working for the Lady Cougars.
Boy, oh boy. They should have the dark truth on. They're see-through at this point.
Yeah.
Sample into the center again. Over the head of Everett. And Babby with a long pass down through the center, but the goalie's going to make it and chip it out, but not very deep if Northeastern can take advantage of it. Just a long shot towards net would have been sufficient with the goalie way out beyond the 18. Down the wing. Everett should get there first, and she does. Pushes to the outside, broken up by Babby. Now Brown, finally cleared by Everett. Now Bulris into the center for Casey. Casey for Peets. Peets missed kicks and finally pushes one through, but it's an easy save for the Indians.
All right, girls.
Use your head, right. Use your head, use your head.
And there's another situation where Northeastern didn't get ahead on the ball, and the Indians were able to push it into Northeastern zone. Finally cleared out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. Brown gets by everybody, and it's finally cleared up by Everett for Dupree. Dupree in the center. Wants to pass it up for Viti. Finally does. Viti deep into Northeastern zone. Gets by one. She'll get the shot off. It's high over top of the net. And it'll be a goal kick for Northeastern. Sample out on the far side, chested down by the Indians. Now Boynton has Viti on the outside, gets her the ball. If Viti can get a shot off, she does, and it goes high over the net. And the Indians, by far, with more opportunities in the last 4 or 5 minutes, with some great opportunities, just failing to connect. Northeastern dodging a bullet with 4:37 remaining in this first half. Sample out in the center. Taken in by Peets. Peets pulls to the outside. A nice move. She needs to keep it to the outside. Just carry and keep carrying it until she gets some support in the center. She has Faye all alone in the center. It's coming across, but the goalie comes out to make the stop. That had goal written all over it. A nice play by Hillary Peets, and an equally nice play by the goalie coming out and stopping it before Jeanette Faye can put it in the back of the net. Beatty again carries in on the far side, and it's out of bounds off Sample, and it'll be a corner kick for the Indians. A good kick. It goes out of bounds. Looked a lot better when it first went off. And it'll be a goal kick for Northeastern.
Regular season game. 6:30 here. See, the varsity boys are going to play here. Playing down there?
The fountain clears up on to the far side, broken up by the Indians. Now the fountain. And it'll be a throw-in for the Lady Cougars. LaFountain down the wing for Brown.
Yeah, but look at the team coming out.
Brown still trying to control. And it's out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Indians. Down the wing for Vitti. Broken up by Boris, but Boynton puts it right back down, out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. Teams trading throw-ins. Down to 2 minutes and 34 seconds remaining in this first half. It's 2-1 Northeastern.
Come on, be first.
An early goal in the 5-minute mark by Jess Babby, a deflected off of a Peru defender into the net. Tied up by Boynton in the 22-minute mark. And Wirestall put Northeastern ahead. At the 27-minute mark. And that's it on the scoring. Back to midfield, picked up by Boynton. It's a 2-on-1. Boynton's got Vitti on the outside, and there it is. Right through the water, the ball stops dead. Boynton puts her head up, saying, "My Lord, what do you have to do here?"
You gotta right back up there again in a second.
And that's happened to Northeastern 3 or 4 times, where their speedsters, Wirestall and Babby, with a great run, an opportunity to just walk in on that, the ball hits the water and stops dead, and there's nothing you can do about that. Boris into the center, picked up by Fay, but she can't control. Boynton. Miller gets there first. Fay tries to go far side for Boris.
Come on, get on the ball.
Now LaFountain. LaFountain crashes into Everett, and that's what the call will be. It'll be a direct kick for the Indians. Under a minute, we're down to 52 seconds remaining in the first half. Boris takes one right off the eye.
Put it down there for now.
Now Brown, she's got some room on the outside, but she ran out of room. It went out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Indians. I can imagine we're going to get about a 1-minute break at halftime because nobody wants to be out here any longer than they have to.
Starts to come down good now. Oh boy, been my home floor to shower. Hey?
This is soup weather.
I know it's hot soup right now. Boy, you're great. Don't like the crackers there on top, boy. Boy, boy.
Stopped by Everett and cleared up the wing. Down to 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and the first half comes to an end. It's 2-1 Northeastern, and we'll be back, and I'll bet you it's not much more than a minute for the second half. Second half underway. Stopped by Boris, who goes outside.
Good play, Marie. Good play.
Broken up out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Northeastern.
Who's the ball boy?
Way up, way up.
LaFountain down the wing for Wirestall. Wirestall still controls on the outside. Again, she's not going to be able to use her speed, but she crosses, and it goes behind the net, out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for the Indians. To the outside, Wirestall has to let it come out. It didn't, and they'll do it again.
Kick the ball.
Out on the wing for Campbell. LaFountain puts it back down, and it rolls out of bounds. Nobody wants to chase that one. And it'll be a goal kick for the Indians. Another soft kick didn't come out, and they're going to have to do it again. Sooner or later, they're going to have to call something. Right up through the center. Cleared out by Hamilton to midfield. And Bushy right back in again. Chested down by Fay. Fay pushes it back for Sample. Broken up and cleared. Everett. Now Fay takes it, tries to get it to the outside. Breaks it up again, and Sample goes deep out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the Indians.
Throw at her.
Punched up through the center again. All the way out to Dupree. Dupree keeps control up the wing for Boynton. Bushy should get there first, but it goes out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. Into the center, it stops dead, and Bushy able to clear it out. Boynton back to Bushy, and Bushy to midfield. Perez on the far side, stolen by Babby. A pass up through for Wirestall. Wirestall to the 18, trying to get the shot off. She'll get a left-footed shot, and it's in the net. Karen Wirestall, with our second goal of the game, gives Northeastern a 3-1 lead. Karen Wirestall with the assist going to Jess Babby makes it 3-1 Northeastern. Now Viti on the near side carries to the center, gets by one. She'll get a cross off right in the center, broken up by Tremblay, who clears up. Taken by Fay. Fay goes near side for Wirestall, but it's cleared out by Fulton. Now LaFountain out of bounds off Fulton, and it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Into the center for Samples. Should be a handball, and is.
Good try, Trish. Like those socks, Trish. My grandmother had something like that one time.
Back, girls.
Into the center.
All right, Steve.
Picked up by Miller. Miller to Sample. Sample
Save it, Erica. Save it. All right, we got it.
White.
with some good-looking socks that have been commented on already. Sample to Wirestall. Wirestall gets by Fulton. Carries into the center. Pushes down for Sample. Broken up, out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. Sample inside the 18. Fay gets there, broken up. Now LaFountain cleared out through the center. Tremblay gets there, chips to the far side, and Babby can't get to it. It's out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the Indians. It comes just outside the 18, and Babby is there. She gets the cross off. Fay deflects it out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for the Indians. Now it must have deflected off number 12, Hughes, and it'll be a corner kick for Northeastern. Wirestall out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick. Now the rain has stopped. It's not going to help the field any, but it'll be a little more comfortable for those who brave the weather to come out and watch the game. 33-38 remaining in this second half. It's 3-1 Northeastern, and even the Seagulls won't land on the field.
Hey, you get so pro at this, I'm telling you. Where's that gone?
Throw in for the Lady Cougars. Broken up and cleared, and the call goes against Northeastern. It'll be a direct kick for the Indians. Miller. A pass through for Brown.
You got to worry about one of the.
Brown deep in the Indian zone with the cross. And the goalie with the stop, and again gives up a small rebound, but able to control it out for Perez. Broken up and stolen by Miller. Now Sample switches fields over for Babby. A beautiful pass. Babby will get a cross off. Pushes back for Bullrich, but not far enough. It's intercepted by Campbell and cleared. A nice trap by Miller, but she can't control it. It's finally out of bounds off Delora, and it'll be a throw in for Northeastern. Thrown into Babby. Babby gets the shot off, and it's out of bounds off the goalie, and it'll be a corner kick for Northeastern. Chested down by Peets. And cleared out by Hamilton. Bushy in the center. For Sample. Sample to Bullrich. Bullrich back to Sample. Broken up.
Look at the water. Look at the water. No, don't peek in there.
No description necessary for what that just looked like, splashing through the water to the far side for Brown, out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Indians. And there's Boynton. Controls on the outside, crosses over for Vitti. Bullrich will get there first, and she clears up. Hamilton. Bullrich off a deflection up for Babby. Gets by Fulton, and it's a foot race. Everett gets there and clears out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Northeastern.
Somebody cut her hands off.
Thrown in for Sample. Deflects into the center. Babby will get there, but it's broken up by Fulton. Fulton switches fields over for Dupree. Dupree still controlling on the far side. And right through that same puddle. And Brown picks up the loose ball, deflects back into Northeastern zone. Boynton is there. Bushy clears it, but it deflects off Boynton. Miller gets there and pushes to the outside. It'll be a throw-in for the Indians. Stopped by Boynton. Sample is there, but it's picked up by Delora. Finally out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern.
No, I'm talking about Powers.
Oh, Powers, yeah. No, he won't. But I can hear
Miller falls, and it's a long ball cleared up. Finally out of bounds by Coyer. And that was something she had to do with Wirestall right there. If she misplays it, Wirestall's got a clear run in on net. Tremblay for Wirestall. Courier is there. Wirestall gets the ball away, crosses over. Bullrich is there, can't get the shot off. Now they got to get back on sides. They're not. Wirestall's off sides on the far side. Babby turns it. And Everett is there to clear it over for Fulton. Fulton deflected by Babby. And it's out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick for Northeastern. And I see that the Lady Cougar JV squad has scored again. I haven't seen any celebration on the Peru side, so I'm going to assume that it's 2-0 Northeastern.
They got beat the other night. They got beat, no, but they got beat one other game.
3 games?
They got beat the other night.
No, it's PHS.
Yeah, PHS 1-0.
It's their night.
Wirestall with the corner.
Off the wrong side of Hillary's head.
Tremblay gets there and pops it high over the net, and it'll be a goal kick for the Indians. Out on the near side, Bullrich gets there first. Gives way for Wirestall. Wirestall with the corner. Out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for the Indians.
Power's down here, way down in the field.
Is he?
Way down there.
Perez,
Oh, yeah.
broken up by Sample. Or Delora, rather, broken up by Sample. To the far side for Brown, out of bounds.
Power's way down there in the corner. And look at the one pink. That's Power's.
Tremblay for sample. Handball should be called. Nope. Babby on the far side. And she'll let it go out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Northeastern.
Win.
Into Babby, cleared out by Everett. And Miller gets there first. Now Brown over for Nutt. Peets gets there. Wirestall to the far side, to the near side rather. Cuts it right back, tries to get the shot off, and it deflects off Hamilton out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick for Northeastern. Wirestall's kick skids through. Tremblay gets there, and it's in the net. Hillary Tremblay with the 4th Northeastern goal on a cross from Karen Wirestall. Northeastern's 4th goal, Hillary Tremblay, with the assist going to Karen Wirestall at the 14:28 mark, makes it 4-1 Northeastern. And the Lady Cougars, even in these horrible conditions, playing well. Intercepted by Dupree. Dupree into the center. And Bushy. Miss kicks, but it gets to Nutt. Nutt back up, could be, not called. Bolris, chest down. Thought that Nutt was going to get it, but didn't. It deflects to Peets. Peets with a nice ball up for Wirestall. Wirestall waiting for people to get up, and then crosses, and it's high over top of the net. And it'll be a goal kick for the Indians. 24:45 remaining in this second half, and it's 4-1 Northeastern. Goal kick picked up by Sample. Sample crosses for Wirestall. Wirestall right back to the near side, far side rather. And another cross. Northeastern just seems to be content in crossing the ball back and forth. Nobody taking a shot on net. Finally, Wirestall does. And it's cleared out. Wirestall chips high and over top of the net, and then it'll be a goal kick for the Indians.
Oh, Shutzy, you missed that one.
Cleared up, stopped by Sample. Sample to the far side, broken up by the Indians. Katie Spar.
Almost halftime, they're going to be switching over.
Now Tremblay just inside the 18. Babby trying to control deep into the Indian zone. Cuts it right back again. She'll get a cross off. Gives it up for LaFountain. LaFountain can't get the shot off, and Babby takes it right back again. Now Babby puts it in on net. It hit the ground, died, and rolled out of bounds. And it'll be a corner kick for Northeastern. Wirestall right on net, and it's in the net. Hillary Watts from Karen Wirestall, and it's 5-0 Northeastern.
Trying to get her to score.
Hillary Watts makes it 5-0, or 5-1 rather. Assist going to Karen Wirestall at the 17:22 mark. And Wirestall has been involved in 4 of Northeastern's 5 goals. She scored the second unassisted, scored the third with assist going to Babby, and she assisted on the 4th and 5th. Goals by Hillary Tremblay and Hillary Watts. Down the wing for Vitti. Vitti crosses just outside the 18, nobody there, and it goes clear to the other side of the field where it's picked up by LaFountain. LaFountain up the wing for Wirestall. Wirestall still controlling, pushes a pass through for Babby, just too far. Wirestall pushes it right back in again. Babby has to get back on sides. She does. Now a through pass for Babby. It hit the mud, and there's Watts with another shot. Now, I don't know where it went. I couldn't see it. It deflected into the mud and just disappeared. Nutt. Pass through for Babby, out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for the Indians.
I didn't think you'd come up in this pouring rain.
Babby can't stop it, but Nutt does, and she goes near side, and the wet turf slowed the ball down, and Nutt was able to save it. But it goes out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for the Indians.
Undefeated season again.
You know it's not right. In the paper all year long, it said that the record is we lost to Beavertown in the tournament, and they never marked the loss.
Yeah, but it doesn't
They give this
count.
out.
It doesn't count.
And it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern.
We only had one tie then.
Yeah, but we only got one tie and they keep putting two in there.
No.
Thank goodness a tie.
No, I only saw one tie.
I'm sorry. The tournament score that's at the end of the overtime is what counts.
So if that's the case, then it would be 2 ties.
Pushed out into the center, stopped by Boynton. Boynton with a long pass down for Vitti. Bushy with plenty of time. Pushes to the outside for Boris, and it's out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Indians. Northeastern's undefeated season seems to be pretty well sealed up with a 5-1 lead. Now Boynton, broken up by Miller. Now Fulton, down the wing, stopped by Nutt. Babby knocked off the ball. It goes out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Indians. Vitti. Miller intercepts and chips up the near side, out of bounds. And it'll be a throw-in for the Indians. We're down to 18:55 remaining in this second half.
Supposed to switch after 20 minutes.
Now Vitti gets by Miller, but Bushy is there. Carry it to the outside and clear up the wing for Nutt. Nutt gives way for Miller, and rather Boris, and Boris up the midfield. Fulton can't control, and she gives way for Everett, who chips it into the Northeastern zone. Cleared out by Tremblay. Now Watts to LaFountain. LaFountain up for Wirestall, broken up by Courier. Out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in.
Yeah, but he made it the same thing in college, but trusted it though.
Northeastern tried to sub, but they were told they couldn't. It was a blue throw-in. Northeastern has to wait until they have possession of the ball before they can substitute, and that was the holdup. Knocked down by Tremblay. Finally cleared out by Boris.
All right, Jesse.
Taken by Heather Boris.
Together there.
Nobody's there. Come on.
Now Fulton. But Boris gets there, and off a deflection it goes into the center, and Everett pushes it right back in. Miller could be a handball, and is. And it'll be a direct kick for the Indians. Pointing with a low shot that deflects off Heather Boris. Tremblay to the outside. Ball taken back by Dupree. Dupree still trying to control, gets the cross off, but it goes out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for Northeastern.
Come on, White. Come on.
The Indians trying to get their second goal, moving their fullbacks way up for this corner kick. If it works for them, that's fine, but if Northeastern can get possession, they've got a lot of field to cover without any defense. Chipped out, taken by Everett, and Watts gets there. Off Fulton, and right through the water, and Nutt can't handle it. Now Babby
Good play.
goes up the wing, it goes out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Indians.
Good hustle.
The Northeastern substitutes are hiding hiding, mind you, behind the scorer's shack.
Come on, White. Come on, White. Hey, Tom.
I don't know if that's they don't want to come in and play or if it's cold over there. Maybe it's colder on that side of the field than it is over here. Chipped into the center, through the muck, and Hamilton picks it up. Deep into Northeastern zone, Bushy. Broken up by Dupree, and Dupree gets the cross off, but it goes out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick for the Indians. The Indians on a quick give and go. Boynton gets the shot off, but it's blocked by Bushy on a fine defensive play. Back down to Hamilton. Crossed by Spar. Miller gets there, pushes to the outside, still controlling to the outside. With a long pass up the wing, it'll go out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Indians. 13:55 remaining in this second half. It's 5-1 Northeastern. And Wirestall with the ball. Into the center, Fulton stops it. Watts gets there, tries to push it to the near side, but it's broken up and cleared to the northeastern side of midfield. Nutt keeps it going up for Babby. Babby with a lot of room.
Come on, Babby. Come on, Babby.
Babby with the shot, and it's right on. And it's a loose ball. Who wants it? Nobody can get to it. And it's finally cleared out by Everett. Nutt right back in again, and Everett clears it out. Deflects off Fulton, and Fulton stops it from going out of bounds. It's finally out off Babby, and it'll be a throw-in for the Indians.
We got the track team over there. And
Out of bounds off Bulruss, and the Indians will do it again.
They opened up the booster club inside the garage or whatever there. Right there.
Vitti broken up by Bulruss. Vitti goes down, and it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern.
Look at that. The bench is empty.
Northeastern substitutions. Brown, Selma is in, and Casey is in. That's Aaron Casey. Hillary Peets is in on the halfback position. It looks like Shannon Casey on the far side on the left wing. So they were finally able to get their substitutes in. And I think Trish Sample did that on purpose. I think she did that on purpose. She just wanted to slosh through the mud. And the call goes against Bushy, and it'll be a direct kick for the Indians.
Don't stop, Muller. You couldn't stop. The tomatoes are flowers.
A tough game for the Indians. Northeastern with a 5-1 lead and just having fun. And just like that, Vitti had a goal on her foot and chipped it inside the 6, if that's possible. Well, it is. We just saw it. But Vitti chipped it from inside the 6 over top of the net. And that's the way the game's been going for the Indians. Nothing is going in their favor. But Northeastern definitely dodged the bullet there. It could very easily be 5-2. Headed right back in by the Indians. Stopped by Bushy, who goes to the outside and finally clears it up. Knocked down by Dupree, but she can't control it. It goes out of bounds. Peets. Now to the center of the field where Brown gets there. Clears up for Casey. It's broken up, but taken back by Peets. Peets with a burst of speed. It's a 4-on-2 if Northeastern can keep going. Peets takes it to the outside, finally crosses it inside the 18, but it's stopped by Hamilton and cleared out. Tremblay right back in again. Sample can't get control of it, and Spar clears it out for the Indians. Now Miller right back in. Cleared out again. Northeastern has to use those short passes. Those long passes just can't work under these conditions because the forwards can't stop and cut and turn the ball around. They've got to use the short passes, preferably to the outside. And the JV squad has scored again. And I don't know the exact score, but I haven't seen the Peru team celebrating any, so it appears it's 3-0 Northeastern. Now, if we can just get the score of the JV boys game up there by the bus garage, maybe it's a clean sweep for Northeastern. And then, of course, the varsity playing down in Seton tonight. Northeastern fans would certainly love a clean sweep for the Cougars.
Nice move. Go, Erica. There you go, Erica. Keep going.
Brown
Keep going.
broken up nicely by Hamilton. Now Joseph down the wing, broken up by Boris. Now Silva into the center for Casey, broken up and cleared. Now Peets knocked down and cleared by Spar. Bushy up the wing for Casey. Casey tries to go back for support, but nobody there, and cleared up by the Indians. Now Bulris up for Sample, too far away from her, and it's broken up by Joseph. Perez had plenty of room. She could have carried it further, but it's broken up, and Miller comes away with it. Hamilton sloshed through the water. We're down to 7:54 remaining in this second half. It is 5-1 Northeastern. The Indians are trying to keep the pressure on, but down 5-1 against this Northeastern squad with the field conditions the way they are, a pretty hopeless situation for the Indians. DeGroat throws in for the Indians, stopped by Sample. And finally cleared by Miller, up for Casey. Casey has one to beat, and she does. Now she comes up to Everett. Everett beats her to the ball, but it dies right there. And now Spar pushes it in. Sample tries to come near side. Out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for the Indians. Taken down by Hughes, and then Boris chips high into the Indian zone. Nice play by Sylvain, if she can cut it to the inside, but Everett is there to clear it out.
Talk to one another.
Now Sample from Boris, pass up for Sylvain, deflects to Casey. Casey can't get by Everett, and it deflects back to Sample. Sample too far, it'll go out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for the Indians. Penalty kick for Northeastern, as Everett pushes out for the Indians here in the varsity game. To midfield, Wirestall carries to the outside. Wirestall's got some room on the inside, pushes to Sample, and a pass to the outside for Stata. Stata crosses back to the 18, but it's stopped by the Indians, cleared out. Now Sample from Casey finally gets the shot off. And the JV penalty kick is in. It's 4-0 Northeastern down there. Broken up by Fuller, and Sylvain on the outside goes down for Brown. Brown tries to turn it. It's chested down by Everett and cleared outside the 18. Picked up by Hughes, who goes further down the wing. It'll stay in bounds, and Wirestall tries to cut it to the outside, loses it out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Indians. Down the wing, headed by Boris. Brown makes a nice play to save the ball, and it deflects into the center to Sample. Now DeGroat, intercepted by Tremblay. Down the wing for Stata. Tremblay again into the center of the field. Picked up by Joseph, and Perez clears up for Hughes. I don't know if these girls even want to play soccer anymore. I think they just want to run through the mud. Wirestall cuts it back to the inside with the head up, pass up for Casey. Broken up by DeGroat and chipped back in by Coyer. Miller goes down, and she liked it. Big smile on her face. She liked it. Sliding through that mud is what they're here for. Stata. The ball dies in the water, and it's crossed by the Indians. Now Brown. Brown with the cross. Casey is there, but it deflects off her foot back to the 18. And it's finally cleared out by Spar. Somebody with a camera should probably try and take a picture of these Lady Cougars after this game. They're in fine shape out there. All wet and muddy. Miller, who with a couple more falls in the mud, is going to have a uniform as dark as the Peru Indians.
Yeah.
And this is, as I said, with 2:52 remaining, this is an important game for Northeastern. This will seal their undefeated season for 1996. Not only are they the CVAC champs, and they were the CVAC champs for the last week or so, but they are undefeated, and they'll be going into sectional play with a lot of momentum. Wirestall, and it's high. And there's a rebound, and the goalie comes away with the save. A fine save by the Peru goalie. Not an easy save with a ball floating in on you like that when all these players are just dying to have you give up a rebound. Deflects to the outside where it's picked up by Hughes. Hughes had the unfortunate distinction early in the game of having Northeastern's first goal deflect off her into her own net. Wirestall still trying to control, and she does to the inside. Chips into the center for Casey. And it's broken up. Now Sample. Sample with a long ball down for Stata. And the goalie comes out to control the ball. 1:27 remaining in the second half. Down for Stata. Broken up. I told you. All they want to do is fall down in the mud. We're coming up to 1 minute remaining. And a cheer will go up in 1 minute and 2 seconds, not only because Northeastern is undefeated, but because the game is over and we can all go home. A real crummy day for soccer here at Northeastern. 2 days of rain, the field is soaked, it's getting colder by the minute. And with 41 seconds, again 5-1 Northeastern. Sample. Sample still controlling. Broken up by the Indians. And Perez goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Northeastern with 12 seconds remaining. Tremblay down the wing with 3, 2, 1, and that's it. The game is over. The CVAC season, the 1996 CVAC season is over, and Northeastern Clinton Lady Cougars go undefeated for 1996. A recap on the scoring: the first goal scored by Jess Babby, assist going to Shannon Casey at the 5:25 mark, and that was a ball that deflected off a defender, a Peru defender, into the net to give Northeastern a 1-0 lead, and that was at the 5:25 mark. Peru tied it up. Boynton, unassisted, on a long ball that went down, and she was helped out by the weather conditions here. Northeastern defenders unable to get their footing, and Boynton went in and fired the ball past Snide and tied it up 1-1. From that point on, it was all Northeastern. Wirestall scored unassisted the second goal, of the game, 27-13, and that's the way the first half came to an end. But Wirestall continued in the second half. The third goal of the game going to Karen Wirestall, assist going to Jess Babby at the 3:16 mark, and it was 3-1 Northeastern. Then Hillary Tremblay off a corner kick from Karen Wirestall chipped the ball high over the Peru goalie at the 14:28 mark to give Northeastern a 4-1 lead. And Hillary Watts rounded out the scoring with the assist going to Karen Wirestall at the 17:22 mark on a ball that was shot in on the goalie. It squished through her fingers and went right out and laid right in front of the net, and Watts popped it into the back for the final 5-1 victory for Northeastern. A great victory, as I said. It seals Northeastern's undefeated season. A great season for the Lady Cougars, and now they're going to get ready for sectional play. And that's the way it was this 22nd day of October, 1996. Northeastern 5, the Peru Indians 1. And I also see that the JV game is over, and they're happy. So the JV girls also won their game, and it looked to be from here to the tune of 4-0. Again, we're all finished here at Northeastern. Thanks for watching Hometown Cable.